What is up, y'all? Welcome back. Man Cave Minutes 11, finally back in Sydney. I didn't want to do too much filming while I was back in Texas. Not because I didn't want to make content or anything, but because that whole trip was focused around being home with family. So yeah, I just really wanted to spend time with them, spend time with my mom and you know, my brother and stuff like that. So be filming and editing, you know, the whole time that I was there. So knocked out 2 for each state and that was it. But we're back now. Back to working on the GTR, and I've kind of not really jumped ahead, but just removed like the plastic bags and started putting the wiring back in the place where it's supposed to go. Let me turn this light on for you. There we go. So I've started, you know, just moving the wires back in, and I've ordered all the clips and all that stuff. Well, I'm waiting on them to show up. But yeah, we'll go ahead, we'll get all that stuff done as well. And hopefully get this thing looking a little bit more like a car. So once all the engine bay wiring is all tucked in how I like it, I'm gonna go ahead, put the whole front end back on it, put the guards back on, and it'll at least look like a car, and I can get the hood off the top of my car. So yeah, that'll be good. The other thing is like all the rubbers and, well, here you go. All the rubbers on the radiator support. There's like a rubber that goes across there. There's a bunch of clips, the ones that hold on the ABS. I'm trying to find these 2 little guys right here so I can get those brand new, because they're not yellow like that. They're actually really white. So I'll change those out. This, yeah, the engine bay is definitely not finished getting its overhaul. So we're working on that. And I'm like halfway tempted to just rip the harness out and get the wiring specialties harness. But I mean, that's another cost to the build that I really wasn't factoring in. So yeah, it could just kind of start delaying the wait time out even further. One thing I did do though is basically like, remember I was talking about the nuts and the bolts and, you know, trying to keep everything off the paint. So I've taken every single nut and bolt that's in the engine bay and I've sent it off to get zinc coated. So I'm just waiting on a bunch of those parts to come back, because I kind of think I might have went overboard with all the parts that I'm getting zinc coated. So that should be back by Friday, but we'll see what happens. And then this cowl right here, let me show you this one sec. This guy right here. I'm just gonna stick it on here, ain't gonna really put it on. Fill in place. So I was going to just clean this up, make it look, you know, shiny and black again. But if you look right here, that piece on this side was actually broken. I never noticed that before. I only kind of caught it because this was sticking up and all flimsy looking. So I went ahead and just got a new one of these ordered. That'll come in, we'll just replace that. All the clips and all the little plastic parts that go in it. Replace all that stuff as well. And yeah, the other thing I'm gonna do is try and rebuild the brake booster and the clutch booster, which is just here. And then probably go with the larger brake master cylinder. So yeah, I've got a lot of little projects happening, plus this air conditioner line. I'm definitely keeping my AC. Yeah, I ain't about that whole race car life. I got a race car, so I don't need AC. Bruh. It gets like 105, 110 here in Sydney. I ain't, nah, we gonna have AC. Been basically going through, cleaning up all my parts in my buckets here. I'll probably not run the washer bottle and the washer bottle will stay, but the radiator overflow won't stay, because I just sold the catch can, because I'm gonna need a bigger catch can for the new build. When you start going up there in high horsepower, you can't run that little tiny battery. There it is right here actually. The little tiny catch can right here. I mean, it's good, like it served me well, never filled it up with oil or anything, but I need something a little bit bigger for the bigger power that I'm gonna run. So that's gotta go. The other thing I was going to talk about is the channel. You know, first off, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's watching and that has been watching the whole time. It's been kind of a struggle for me because not necessarily that I don't know what direction I'm going with the channel, but I'm just constantly trying new things to see what works, what doesn't work. And yeah, just kind of figure out how I can keep creating content for you guys. I would like eventually to get to doing daily videos, but I just really don't want to put out fluff content. Like, I'd rather do stuff that, you know, I'm actually passionate about than just going, this is 5 things I hate about my Skyline. This is 10 things I hate about other cars. Like, I don't really care to do stuff like that. I mean, if you guys want me to do like what I don't like and like about the car, sure, I'll do it. But to me, it's like, it's kind of fluff, you know? Like, I'd rather just show you what's happening on the car, do that. And yeah, like the whole process to building a hopefully 9-second car in stock form. So yeah, I mean, those wheels are gonna go. And if I can, I'll either go back to the stock wheels or I'll go to a V-Spec style wheel just because it allows me to run a 17 and they look stock. Or I might do a Nismo wheel because it's still Nissan at least, you know. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what's happening right now. And like I said, thanks again so much for all you guys that are watching. If you're new to the channel, make sure you're hitting subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment. Later in the year, we're gonna do another Bathurst cruise. So that is something that's coming. I mean, it's fucking 6 months away, but that is something coming, and it was a blast last year. I know this year's gonna be bigger and better, so cannot wait for that one. Now that I'm back in Sydney, we're gonna definitely start smashing it out, try and get this engine bay back together, car back together, and send the car off to CRD so that we can go ahead and get this engine put in and get back out there to start hurting some more feelings. Like every single time I go out to a car meet or something like that, it's just like, oh, my soul. All right, so I know it doesn't look like it, but it is another day. It gets dark here at like 4:30, but I have something very good. I got all my zinc plated parts, which was very hard not to go through this stuff and just like look at it all day long because it came up pretty awesome. So this is the little gear stick surround, that little metal piece that goes in where the gearbox is, which is usually always rusted and looks like absolute hammered dog shit. So that's that. Let me, we'll just transfer it to another bucket. I'm like, ugh, I don't want to put it in something dirty. This is literally like my first look at all this stuff. So one of the things that I did that I'm actually kind of surprised at how well it came out. Don't know, you know, how well or not the camera picks it up, but this is the hood latch, which I left the plastic on there, and you can see it's come out perfect. So it's all just the regular zinc coating. It's not just like, I didn't try and do gold and then the color got messed up. That's what zinc coating looks like. So it was just mainly like rust protection that I was doing this for. But I'm stoked, man. It looks so good. Like, that is killer. So that's a bonnet latch, and then I just started doing a bunch of random stuff. So this is like one of the little shields in the bottom of the engine bay. You'll probably never see this, but it looked like trash. This is a throttle cable bracket. So that sits on top of the plenum, holds the throttle cable there. I'll start putting all this stuff on, but I kind of just wanted to come out and show you guys real quick. That's another piece of the throttle cable assembly. These are for the horn. So I'll show you guys as I'm kind of putting this stuff together. Like over the next couple of days, like I said, I'm gonna try and do some daily videos. So over the next couple of days while I'm putting all this stuff together, I'll kind of walk you through what I'm doing and what parts are where. I've got all the nuts and bolts. I mean, there's so many. And I mean, I did everything from like the alternator bolts plus the little adjustment blocks, everything that's in the engine bay, I did. So I got my little buckets right here that I'm going to use to organize everything. That should help. And we'll sit there and try and put everything back together. So I'm about an hour into zinc plated bolts and chill, and I'm ready to have an aneurysm. But there is a silver lining. We have got the AC condenser back in, the bonnet support bracket, the hood latch, all that stuff is in with the zinc plated goodness. So there is a little bit of a silver lining. It's funny how quickly this thing starts to look like something again. But look, I gotta work in the morning. So yeah, I can't just stay up wrenching on this thing all night. I got a 2-year-old that's gonna wake me up if I do. We'll continue this. We got all the bolts back, so the car should start actually taking shape now. We'll put the engine bay back together as much as we can. And yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what this looks like all zinc plated out.